Good morning, Birchland Park Middle School. Happy Monday. I hope that everyone had a fantastic weekend with the beautiful weather. And I'm so excited to be back at the best middle school on the World Wide Web. At this time, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Okay, students, so as I am traveling through time, I want to make note that this month, the month of March, do not forget that it is National Women's Month. So let's celebrate the women in our lives and the women that have helped shape our lives without us even being aware of it. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to celebrate one woman in particular, and that is Stacey Abrams. I know a lot of the time when we talk about things like National Women's Month, we talk about figures from the past. I also think that's important to make sure that we are constantly acknowledging the figures that are existing right now to try and make this world a better place. And Stacey Abrams is definitely someone that is trying to make this world, specifically this country, a better place for everybody. So I am going to read from the National Women's History Museum a biography on Stacey Abrams so that you have a better understanding of why she is being celebrated during National Women's Month. Stacey Abrams was born on December 9th, 1973 in Wisconsin. Her mother was a college librarian and her father was a shipyard worker. Coming of age amidst the boycotts and marches of the civil rights movement, both of her parents participated. Her mother was kicked off buses when she tried to sit up front, and her father was beaten and jailed for his participation. Her parents raised their 6 kids with a "you can be anything" mantra and advocated civil engagement. Family outings to the polls and outreach trips to prisons were frequent for Stacey and her family. The family did not stay long in Wisconsin. Abrams only remembers the cold and the cheese curds and moved to Mississippi. Abrams spent most of her childhood there, recalling that her family was part of what her mother called the genteel poor. Abrams said that this meant the family had no money, but they watched PBS and read books. Abrams read the encyclopedia for fun. Education was of the utmost importance in the Abrams household. Abrams liked to say that her parents said that you could miss school if you had a doctor's note and a surgical scar. Abrams credits the public school system with saving her and her siblings. Her siblings include a professor of anthropology, a federal judge, an evolutionary biologist, and a social worker. In 1991, she was chosen as valedictorian of her high school. Invited to the annual valedictorian's reception, Abrams and her parents traveled by bus to the governor's mansion. At the gate, they were told to leave by the guard on duty. While the mistake was eventually corrected, the experience stuck with Abrams. While she knew that she belonged, she recalls about that day, "I don't remember meeting the governor of Georgia or my fellow valedictorians. All I remember that day was a man at the gate telling me I don't belong." She would never let someone make her feel out of place again. After graduation, Abrams matriculated to Spelman College, an all-women's college in Atlanta. During her freshman year, in 1992, she co-founded a group called the Students for African American Empowerment. She also attended a protest on the steps of the Georgia State Capitol regarding the state flag, which at the time was dominated by the Confederate battle flag. Abrams maintains Confederate symbols should not be in public places of honor. The Georgia state flag was changed in 2003. In 2006, Abrams was elected to the Georgia House and quickly gained a reputation for bipartisanship. In 2010, she became the House Minority Leader, the first African-American woman to do so in Georgia. Abrams advocated to increase educational opportunity and promote economic security. Inspired by her brother's experience with mental illness and addiction, she has also called for criminal justice reform, expanded Medicaid, and a better understanding of mental illness. In 2013, while still a member of the Georgia House, she created a voter registration nonprofit called the New Georgia Project. It helped complete 86,000 new voter applications many of whom came from voters of color. Abrams rose to national prominence when she ran for governor of Georgia in 2018. While she lost that race by about 55,000 votes, her candidacy was historic in and of itself. When she won the Democratic primary in that race, she became the first African-American woman to receive a major party's nomination for governor. During her campaign, she focused on bringing new voters to the polls, an extension of the work she did with the New Georgia Project. Abrams continues to advocate for and help with voter registration and founded the Fair Fight Action in 2018. Fair Fight is an organization created to address issues of voter suppression. Abrams continues to serve as the face of voting advocacy around the country. She has started and inspired many organizations that work to register and turn out voters, particularly young voters and voters of color. For her work, Abrams has received numerous awards, including the John F. Kennedy New Frontier Award, a Friend of Labor Award from the Georgia AFL-CIO, and others in recognition for her work as a public servant. In February of 2021, she was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. So, Stacey Abrams is someone that is just fighting for the basic tenets of what it means to be an American in America, and that is everyone has the right to vote, and she's simply making it as easy for people to vote as possible so they, in turn, can participate in what makes this country great. Okay, students, nice weather is here. With nice weather, like I said before, we get excited during nice weather. And when we are excited, we sometimes don't always think with our brain. Right now, I am imploring you for your sake to make sure that you are thinking about your actions at all times. Especially now that we know that we are going to be having more students returning to the building, which is a great thing. We're excited about that. But with this, we also need to make sure that we are following the very simple and easy to follow rules to make sure that everyone still remains safe. Though students are coming back, and though our teachers and a lot of other people are starting to get the vaccines, it does not mean that the coronavirus is gone. It still exists. And we are living lives, we are living our lives adjusting to living in a world where the coronavirus still exists. So we can still be safe. We have to just make sure that we are wearing our masks, we are hand sanitizing regularly, we are following the rules of social distancing. So when we are outside, don't clump up together. When we are in the building, don't clump up together. Make sure that you are remaining with your section. Make sure that you are remaining distanced from one another. When you leave the cafeteria, make sure that you wait for your teacher to pick you up. You cannot leave on your own. You have to wait for your teacher to come pick you up. So let's stay safe. Let's have fun. But we need to make sure that we're doing everything that we know what we're supposed to do in this building. And that is following the rules and washing our hands regularly, keeping our masks on, and social distancing from one another. We are staying safe as we continue to make sure that we're getting the best education on the World Wide Web and in person. Okay, I trust you all to make the right decisions. We do, we trust you. Now at this time, it is your favorite part of morning announcements, and that is Joke of the Day. Roll Joke of the Day. Hello everyone, hello, welcome back to Joke of the Day. Hey, big news over the weekend. You know what happened over the weekend? It was the first day of spring. That's right, it was the first day of spring. We got us through the winter, and now we can look forward to a nice season of spring that gets us to the summer. But right now, with it being spring, with the warm weather, I'm excited, you're excited, the gardener is excited. Wanna know how excited the gardener was that it's spring? Wanna know how excited he was? He was so excited, he wet his plants! That's right, he wet his plants! Sounded like I said wet his pants, but no, plants. Another thing about spring, here's a question for you. When do monkeys fall from the sky? When do monkeys fall from the sky? During April showers. April showers. Like April, but ape, you know, like gorillas. April. Okay, guys, and you have a fantastic spring-filled week here at the best middle school on the World Wide Web.